So if you come down to Como, come down to the awesome Thai restaurant at Como, come and check out the fish pond that they've put in. So it's got lots of water flow. It's a really nice design. It's got some lilies here. It's got this beautiful little display here, which is absolutely great for aerating the water. Now, the other thing that you could use this display for is for increasing your biological filtration. So if you had any issues with ammonia, nitrite or nitrate over the years, you could get some marine pure balls and throw them in the bottom of this. And that would be an absolutely wonderful place to put the marine pure balls. And what the marine pure balls will do is offer parallel denitrification. So over time, good bacteria will grow on these balls that are inside here, and the bacteria will break the ammonia into nitrite into nitrate. But what's so great about the marine pure balls is that they have a particular porosity to surface area volume, which allows them to grow denitrifying bacteria, which means it also gets rid of the nitrate. So that would be a really good thing that you could do if you needed to. At the moment, this pond is actually really quite well filtered. So it's got a Pond Max filter here. These Pond Max filters have got a little wine thing for cleaning the sponge. Value for money, these Pond Max filters they're actually really good. They're very great value. Then we've got basically a skimmer box here. So the water comes in, goes through the skimmer box. It's got a water pump in the skimmer box, and then the water pump feeds up into the filter, and then the filter feeds off into the top of the pond. It's actually a very good design. It's very rare for me to come along to a place that I have not been too involved in, such as this one, and be very pleasantly surprised with the design and so forth. Now at the moment, all of these rocks are beautifully tiered, and a really wonderful job has occurred, but we do need to be aware that the maintenance of this is going to be interesting. So there are various products like sludge removing products that you're definitely going to want to just be aware of, because what we're not going to want over time is for all the sludge to build up underneath all of these rocks. So I would try not to allow that too much, and I would just be very aware. At the moment, there's 18 fish in here, some koi and some goldfish. So I would not want to put more fish in, because we do need to allow for the fish to grow. Also, having something like a max spec grabber is really good for pulling all these leaves out, because obviously in this absolutely paradise environment here, the leaves falling into this pond is a absolute reality. So whatever you can do to shade the pond, and whatever you can do to reduce the leaves in the pond is definitely a wonderful thing to do. But getting a water sample every now and then down to the shop is a very good idea. I recommend bringing a little sample of water and a video of the situation running, just for us to check on it. And we've also got a pre-filter on the water that's going into the pond, because I'm assuming there's a float valve in here for topping the water up. So as far as maintenance is concerned, what you'd be wanting to do is, on a semi-regular basis, I'll be wanting to backwash this. So we switch it to backwash, we get the handle, we pump it around. That helps to clean the filter from the inside. Probably once a year, I'd pull the whole filter apart, and then I would give the sponges a good clean, and I'd replace the UV, because the UV tube wants to be replaced yearly, and I would clean the quartz sleeve around the UV tube. And so if you gave it a little bit of a backwash about every sort of once or twice a month, that would normally be fine. And then you want to get your water checked at least once a month, just to see how that's going. Over time, the pH and KH is something that does tend to fluctuate, so you want to be aware of that. So now over time, algae is going to be your thing. So the higher the quality food you put in, the better, as far as the fish health is concerned. But algae is probably going to be a thing, mainly because of the amount of nutrients that are going to go into the water due to the leaves. It would be an absolute ongoing battle to try to get all the leaves out. So once again, having good bacteria products for breaking down sludge would be a really good thing. So experiment with those products and try to find out what it is that will absolutely keep the pond clean. And then over time, hair algae or string algae is something that you're going to need to be aware of. Providing your water quality is good and you've got lots of good bacteria and you have good water flow and good oxygen, the chance of getting too much algae is reduced. But on the other hand, if the oxygen or water flow is not as good, then you'll increase CO2 levels and favour the algae. And if your nutrient levels are too high, then you may very well favour the algae. Because what we're trying to do is create an environment that's better for the bacteria, because the bacteria is invisible, than it is for the algae. Because the nutrients from the fish and the leaves are going to either get taken up by the good bacteria, which you can't see, or the algae that you can see. So we want to try to make it more favourable for the good bacteria. And to do that, we'd like to have as much good bacteria as possible, such as putting marine pure balls in here. Right now I don't think it needs it, but you certainly could do it. And making sure the filter is well and truly regularly backwashed. Now the other thing too is that it's important not to have this UV on all the time, because if I was you, I'd probably every now and then just turn it off for a little bit, just a few days off, and then that allows good bacteria to get back into the filter again. Sometimes if you have the UV on all the time, it can actually hamper the bacteria in the filter. So I'd unplug this every now and then, leave it off for a couple of days, turn it back on again. Make sure that your pre-filter is very clean. And then every now and then it's going to need a vacuum. So there are vacuums available. We certainly have one. And then you're going to have to push the vacuum into this substrate and you're going to have to pull some of the crap out. So as far as the optics of this pond is concerned, it's really, really good. The function of it is really, really good. The only thing over time is going to be the maintenance, because obviously trying to clean this very beautiful, very natural pond is going to be a lot more challenging than, let's say, it was just a fiberglass base, for example. So as far as the visual aspect of this is an absolute win. But as far as the maintenance aspect is concerned, it would just be a little bit more challenging and just something to be aware of. So what you need to do is create a system that works. In the system, we need to combine good bacteria products with regular maintenance, with not too many fish, and also being aware that the health of your fish is 50% water quality and 50% food quality. Now, I would not want to be feeding low-quality foods. I would just stick for something like Danichi or New Life Spectrum's probiotics. I mean, you do pay more for the good foods, but you'll find that you need to feed a lot less of them, and the amount of waste they produce is a heap less. So anyway, I'm very impressed. So if you get a chance, pop down to Como. You could have a yummy meal, and come and check out how this pond's going.